Yep, right there. Something like that. Green car, blue car. Not as many orange cars. My daughters really like playing, they call it rainbow car, where you just look at cars, you try and find cars of different colors. If you can find them all of the different colors of the rainbow, then that is cool. That's really what it is. It's really what it is. And today I'm just heading to Ventura for our little all-league selection meeting. And it's been a while since we talked last, but there was no episode of the Lose Cast because we didn't lose. We actually beat one of our rivals in 4 sets, and we beat them at home, and it was also senior night, and it's like the second time. It's not like the second time. I'm going to try and not use the word like as much. But it was the second time we've beaten a rival on senior night in the last 2 seasons. So that's a fun little wrinkle. And we ended up playing both of our rivals that same week. On Tuesday we played the team that now eventually got first place. And then on Thursday we beat the team that eventually got second place. The team was in first place at that point. They had been undefeated up until that point, and then we defeated them, giving them their first loss. And then they went and they had beaten our other rivals, and then they lost 2 times last week. No, one was on Thursday, and then the following was on Tuesday. So it wasn't in the same week, but they did lose back-to-back matches, so I'm sure that was a tough one for that coach who's been reigning supreme for a better portion of the last 11 seasons, if not like 16 seasons since I've been back in town, and from the 2009 season till today. I know that my school's won 3 times, and I think this other school has won twice. So that's 11 of 16. That's a pretty good ratio. So he's probably kind of a bit upset. But going back to our rivalry match that we won, it was an odd one to start because me and my assistant coach kind of did not see eye to eye on a few things in the first set, and it kind of threw me for a loop mentally, because all I was doing was being focused and fixated on that substitution that I did that he did not agree with, and then just made me feel attacked. And I also realized in that moment that me focusing on it and being sore about it was not going to benefit our team at all. And so just did not go forth with that substitution after that, and we ended up winning the second set, and then the third one was pretty close here and there, and then we took off. And then at one point in that third set I just sat down because The kids were just playing really well, and they did not need so much corralling from me or coaching from me. And I remember having, I don't want to say an epiphany, but it made sense to me that you wouldn't want to be coached by someone that's on your case every single point, good or bad. I think it would be more fun if your coaches would just allow you to be out there and play and have fun, because it's not about me, it's about them. They're the ones that are executing everything, and they're the ones that have to deal with listening to us in practice all the time too. So shouldn't there be a break from that? And what better place than a match, right? They practice, they're doing all this. Don't they earn the right to not have their coach be on top of them every single point, and physically, like, standing so close to the court? Maybe I've been making my players like nervous so much over all these seasons because I'm just literally too much. So I sat down for, I think, the second half of the third set, and we won that one. And then I tried to stay seated, and I was aware of that, and I tried to stay seated most of the fourth set too, and would get up a few times here or there. But yeah, it just seemed like they were just in a good groove. They were clicking. They were just making good decisions, and they deserve to not have me be so involved. And I think that made me look internally more and question more why I'm coaching. And it shouldn't be for my personal gain. It shouldn't be to win a banner and to stoke my ego. And it just shouldn't be that way. That is a great outcome of having taught a team how to play the sport correctly and competitively, and should they reach that, that's great. But I am at a point where I do love coaching and I do love the sport, but I don't think having this fixation on getting a banner is the right thought process anymore, especially if I'm not like making that like known to my players day in and day out. And we don't have a dynasty or a tradition of winning titles. We've won one single title, and it was in 1998, so that was 27 years ago. 27? 24. 26. 2024, 1998. 2028 would be 30 years. 24 years ago. And also, I know that if we do put a banner up, that will be it. Yes, we will have one, and then what? I'll just keep trying to do it, I guess. But I think you almost have to, I don't want to say trick them, but you just have to make them play in a conditioned way where they're just so invested in it in every single point that they win. I'm not sure. I know that I'm pretty much, I think I'm just jealous. I'm just jealous of other schools. Just jealous of other schools and their ability to win and to do it. And I feel like a failure for not being able to do that thus far. I know that only one coach at our school has done it, and only one coach currently coaching still has won one, and that was like about 3 seasons ago. And I was pretty jealous of that too, but I also know that I don't seem to be doing enough about it, and I'm not like obsessed with it like I guess I want to be, or I think I am. And then when I think about all the time that's being sacrificed with my kids and my wife, then I really feel guilty, and then I feel like it's been a waste of time if I'm not gonna go like full bore, full focused into it. But for the same token, I don't feel like I've been demanding the type of dedication from my players also. And this is a high school program, and it also occurred to me that the high school program is just a break for most people from their club program, and the club program which leads them into college volleyball, Division I volleyball, and we don't have a long track record of sending a lot of kids to college, and not very many lately that are materializing because of high school volleyball. So I'm just kind of going off on tangents. I'm not really sure what the point I was trying to make. I just know that I'm not working as hard as I should, but yet I'm like a big like sore loser like when it hasn't happened yet, but yet I don't seem to be putting in the time and the effort to make that a possibility. Just kind of relying on my kids to play club and hopefully be invested and involved in wanting to do that. And I also am realizing that I'm not making it a priority to do any like team bonding and team building stuff, and I think that can have a huge effect, and I just have never put a premium on that, and I've always used like work or my kids as a scapegoat so I could get out of those things. But I think I have to make a better effort year round to communicate and contact and do stuff with them more than just the stuff in the season. And we've gone to the third round the last 2 seasons in a row, albeit in different divisions, but I think I'm just a sore loser at the end of the day. And I know this is not I'm not sure. I think I should have been more like overjoyed that we beat our rival, the more difficult of the 2 rivals to beat, in my opinion. We hadn't beat them since 2018, so that's 6 seasons. So I guess 5 if you're counting COVID season. But I really wasn't as hyped as I've been in the past. I went home and I think I worked until 2 o'clock in the morning, and I think I went and got 1 beer and enjoyed it. But I was more relieved than like elated. I guess more relieved that senior night went well and we won, and I could like quiet the critics in my own mind, I guess, for a little while. But it didn't take long for one of my parents to email me and tell me that he was basically wondering why his son didn't play at all, and It was because one of our others, in my mind, when a starting position player was back and active and ready again, and so I used him, and then I never sent his son in, and then that was terrible. And apparently he had family come to the match from all over, including out of state, and I understand that as a parent he probably felt bad that everybody came, and he had to place his frustration somewhere, so he emailed me and he let me know in a very backhanded type way, and it was a parent that I did not expect it from at all, but everybody's entitled to their opinion and entitled to be a parent that gets frustrated, and I can totally sympathize with where he's coming from. It was just a difficult thing to deal with. I don't remember if it was the following day or if it was like the following week or something, a few days later. But with the amount of like injuries and kids being sick, and then kids just not kind of being non-committal, it's been a difficult season just to put a team together consistently. We've probably had 11 different lineups, and still don't feel like we've found one that is correct just yet. I don't know, and that's the difficult part, is I just don't know. And I haven't had a season where I've had to make this many changes, I think, is what I'm trying to get at. And it's kind of stressful, and I just let my people around me have too much influence on what the decisions I make. And I think I just like to have assistant coaches again that are totally on board, and they're just there to help, and they just want to back what I do. And I've never felt really, lately, maybe the last 4 years or so, that I've been, I'm not even sure. I just know that I've always had a lot of help, but I think it's, I'm just ready to coach my own team my way, and I guess that just means I'm going to start having to say no to people, and that is it's a difficult thing for me to do, because I don't like confrontation, and it sounds like I'm a people pleaser, and I don't want to disappoint people. And so I guess if that's a major part of my character trait, I probably shouldn't be coaching high school athletics and being worried about trying to get everybody in, which I've always tried to do a decent job of. But I think that night there was also two seniors that didn't go in at all. The dad's gripe, his son is a junior, and and obviously, if for the one person or whoever does listen to these, it just sounds like complaining, and it really is. But it makes me feel like 1% better just to say it out loud, and like have a sounding board for something, I think. But I'm just trying to get across that it's been a little bit just hard. It's been hard for me to make a decision, and I did not keep focused on my practice plan goal to have them all done and ready the night before, because I don't even feel like worthy of like writing a practice plan, because I'm worried that my other coaches will think it's just like bush league and not correct, and and I think that just plays into me. I've always felt like a little bitch, and So I should probably stop beating myself up and stop focusing on myself. And a lot of the things that I'm worried about, I'm sure, are just in my head and internal. And the sooner that I can remind myself why I'm doing this, and that life is too short, and that it should be fun, the better I feel. I forget that I'm the blame for anything that goes wrong. Always goes back to, it ends at me, and that is tough to swallow sometimes. It is, but I think the good stuff outweighs all that, and I'm sure this somehow stems from me just not feeling like I've amounted to a lot, as a man and as a son, which again is probably something that's in my head also, and is not anything that's been said or I've been told or overheard or anything. And I heard someone talking about people that and they were referencing their upbringings and the people that had to struggle and came from very little, and historically been more successful because they work harder, because they've had to, and the people that have had more cushy and relaxed lives and been given they've had opportunity and privilege, they haven't had to not suffer, but work for as much. And I think I definitely fall into that category. I would not consider myself a super hard worker, and I guess that shows in my volleyball program. Not my volleyball, but just the way that I lead my volleyball program. And then that makes me feel bad about myself too, and I need to do more. And I guess that equates to spending more hours, more times of the year, and really having more of a preparatory plan on the day-to-day basis, and months out, half a year out, versus just waiting till the last minute to try and pull things together. And I don't say I'd wait till the very last minute, but I definitely put things off. And I guess now saying this, if I would plan stuff ahead of time and have things ready, that could be alleviating stress. There'll be one less thing to worry about and deal with, and I should ask for help besides people just coming in and helping coach. And I think I've said this before, I kind of always feel like I'm one of the worst coaches in the gym often, which I don't think I'm a terrible coach. I just don't think I'm lighting the world on fire, and maybe I peaked at what I know. I definitely am still learning plenty every year. It's just at my own pace, which is very observational. That's where my learning's coming in. I'm learning from doing, and I think I just thought I would have had it figured out at 11 seasons. I thought I would have had it figured out, but I still feel like a super young coach. It could be that it's because I'm surrounded by a lot of coaches that are older than me. I do have some younger coaches underneath me, but I feel like they know more than I do also. And that being the head coach is kind of a shitty job, because you got to do a lot of things and you get blamed for anything that goes wrong. And it can be frustrating sometimes when there's always so many people that want to help, but only to help to put their 2 cents in for the highest team, for the most experienced high-level team. And then when it doesn't go right, then it's just my fault. Well, I don't know why I'm so concerned with like who gets the credit, but I think it goes back to I've just been doing this all mostly just for my own ego, I guess. And I guess that trails back to me not having great self-esteem, and that I always kind of felt worthy when I was winning as part of a soccer team, or when I could pull off a cool trick in skateboarding. I don't think I was ever close to being the best of my friends, but I was never the worst. I was just kind of seemed like always right in the middle. And chilling is safe. I think that's another thing I've figured out. I've not traveled much. I've not tried to do a lot of things professionally, job-wise. I think I've always just said I don't know what I want to do because I don't want to apparently put in enough effort to figure it out or change and try something different. That's kind of hard to hear yourself say out loud. Even saying these things makes me feel shitty again. I think getting success in volleyball right away made me like it. Probably because I could identify with something. I don't want to say finally, but I could identify with something that I was proud of. And I think I was always proud of skateboarding, but I was never good enough to make that something I could bank on financially, because I was never good enough, or I never tried to be good enough to go pro. I think I probably topped out maybe in 10th grade or 11th grade, but it's still fun. I still watch skateboarding content every day. I watch volleyball content every day. I watch comedy content every day, or listen, and running and movies. I think I just like entertainment. I think I just like not working. And it's a tough thing too, and it's been getting tougher to, I don't want to say legitimize, but I can't stop feeling guilty when I'm trying to relax, and I know that I should be working or something, or I'm not, making enough money to in my own brain to satisfy the things that we have, which is, we have a house, which I can't pay for on my own. So that is just kind of, it's a tough one to swallow. But also, I don't think you're supposed to live your life just being concerned with working enough to pay for something. Or maybe you should, I don't know. I think it should be spent just enjoying the day, like with your family, and then hopefully you can lead them in a direction. And I'm talking about me and my own kids, but I don't know if I'm making the best example, putting forth the best example of working hard. And I think my wife is, but I don't know if I am. And that makes me feel kind of bad about myself. And like I said, it's probably coming across as just straight bitching and moaning, and I agree, but I can only be as honest as how I'm feeling. And today I was feeling a little bit down, and I'm also feeling just like Like, I'm ready for this season to be over with, which is a sad thing to say if I'm the head coach and I'm trying to lead my team into the uncharted territory in the last 24 years. Because who wants to be led by someone like that? But I'm just unsure of myself, and this season having to use so many different players and having to make so many decisions, which I hadn't had to bank on, or I've been able to just kind of solidify a crew at some point and go with it. But I've had a lot of kids be injured, and a couple of kids multiple times within this short season. So I'm trying to stay on the positive side and remember, like, we can only do what we can do on the day of, and just prepare, and I think try and keep it light, and me not be a coach that freaks out on a bunch of teenagers when they don't do what is, I don't know, not expected, but when they're not executing as much. We've only had one match since that rivalry match, and I tried to again take a back seat to being super gnarly and intrusive and being on top of them the whole time, and we did win that one. We swept them, and my main goal was to not sweat the points that we didn't get, and really be stoked for the points, the positive plays and the great effort that we did put forth, and just try to keep it moving if things weren't going our way. And then we played a tournament last Saturday, but it was a sandbagging. We went out to LA and we played in a tournament that was well below our experience. The other teams were just not to our level. But I think it was a good opportunity to keep getting better because we got to work on our offense. We got a ton of opportunity with free balls, down balls just sent to us pretty much all day long, so we could work a couple new pieces into the rotation and work a couple pieces, just work basically a new team together, which is, I don't know, we played a tournament and a game on Tuesday, and that seems relatively okay. Maybe, yeah, it is hard if I feel like kids are just kind of showing up when they want to, and they're considering them sick maybe when they're not sick. I don't know. Our tournament fell on 420, so I had a couple kids say they were sick and couldn't come. There's no way. The one thing is, 2 of them were sick previously for a good portion of the week. I hate that part about myself, that I have to think the worst of people, and I've accused people of that in the past too, which is super inappropriate, and I probably shouldn't have. Kids that were definitely probably not doing that stuff, but I used to be a degenerate about that type of stuff on that day, so I know what goes on. Is that what I'm trying to say? I don't know. I just have a lot of help. Like, I left today and I had 3 assistant coaches in there to help. One of them is great, and she is the Frosh coach, and I'm not talking, but it's just like I guess I've gotten so much help over the years, I feel like I'm not doing anything, and then maybe I'm just like clogging up the works, and then I feel like I don't measure up to the other coaches, so like we might as well just go with what they think we should do. And I can see how that's confusing for the players to have to wonder who to listen to. And I guess more than anything, I'm just confused with how to deal with your own ego. And I've been questioning whether is someone's ego even a good thing? Can you talk about your ego in a positive way, or is it just just ego negative? I don't know. It's a tough one. So I also realize I've just kind of painted myself into this odd, secluded time in my life where I don't really hang out with any friends, and I've not made an effort to make friends with people who have kids for the benefit of my children, and that makes me feel bad about myself also, and that just got me feeling a little down today, if I'm being completely honest. I think I've just invested so much time, a couple parts of the year, into volleyball that I've then overcompensated to try and invest the same amount of time with my kids and my wife, and I have just kind of ostracized myself and our little family to just being out here just by ourselves, really. And but in the same token, I'm like, don't want to do anything. I'm just chilling too much, I guess. And I think as a product of this generation, of just the cell phone generation, and being too addicted to my phone, which I am. But I could just stop cold turkey. That would be a lot to deal with. I could try. I haven't. So I'm really just in this weird little area of my life where I'm resistant to change things up, because I've just got so much invested in this part of like my identity, I guess. And I like podcasts too, hence why I'm doing my own podcast to 4 subscribers, whomever they are. Thank you. It's got to feel nice on some level to listen to somebody complain about their own life, because then you can compare your situation to theirs, and then you can find out real quick if yours is better or not. And big picture, I don't have anything to complain about. I'm super fortunate, and I do have a house that I'm lucky that my folks have the ability to help me with. But I just feel like such a little kid having to accept that help still, and not having this internal drive to make my financial situation better. And I don't know if that's a thing that people are born with, or you can like turn the light switch on and become that way. But I've inherently never been one to really grind, I'd say, at anything than probably volleyball, most likely. But I've never really been paid to coach volleyball on a serious level. The amount that I was making as an assistant coach like 12 and 13 years ago was pretty minuscule. It was nothing that I could survive on for a lifetime or anything. I think I was getting paid $350 a month as an assistant coach. A month? A week? It was definitely not a week. was not making $1,400 a month. I was definitely a week, a month, $350 a month. Yeah, long pause. Sorry. I am been doing that long pause lately, and it's pretty fun. And I think, one, I'm proud of myself that I haven't cried yet, because I'm classically very, very much a crier. If I've got to point the microscope back at myself. But perhaps this is me growing, and that's a good time. And I did not think when I became 40 years old that I would still feel so immature. But also, I guess if you're not making an active, if you're not making an act, if you're not trying to improve yourself actively, then you'll just stay exactly where you're at. And I think I've got to do something. And I don't know if more money would make any of this go away. I do think that more money would at least alleviate some of my own personal shit that I'm dealing with. If I could pay my entire mortgage nut every month by myself without, or at least if my wife and I could do it, that would make me feel better. If I didn't have to accept help from my folks, that would be awesome. But I am not in that position right now, and I don't want to take over the position that my dad has with my brother's company, because I feel like that'd be too much responsibility, and I don't love it enough. I don't think I would do a good job at it. I'm honestly thinking I'm closer to just quitting that and starting to do something volleyball related full time and take a risk, I guess. But I don't even have two pennies to rub together to even do something like that. So I'm just spinning my wheels at this point. And I think I've passed the 5-year mark where I thought that I would have been moved on by now, a couple years ago. But I haven't. I've just kind of sat in my own contentness about where I am at this moment lately, and it's been good enough to raise 3 kids, not without a lot of help, but I'm trying not to make it be so. I mean, I guess this is just life. You can either make it easy on yourself, or by, I guess, working hard and keeping yourself busy and going all the time, or I guess finding a job that'll sustain the bills that you need. And I don't think I don't make enough to, again, pay my nut for the whole month every time. And yeah, I'm on a 30-year mortgage, not a 25. I don't know why I had thought 25 was the year, but I'm on a 30, and we just passed our 6-year mark, so only 24 more years to go, which is a lot. And the reassurance of being financially set up for the future, God forbid something happens to my family someday, which inevitably will. That doesn't make me feel any better about myself. It actually makes me feel worse to think about that yeah. I know that this episode, this little talk has been all over the place, and it's been slow and disjointed, included a lot of ums and ahs. But it's been kind of, it's been the last like 4 or 5 months of just like really like reflection on just like what I've done so far. And I'm, being 40, that definitely makes you think. It's the cliche like year that you're supposed to like figure it out. Not figure it out, but where, I don't know, you're just forced to like reflect on stuff. And I have. And I wish I could find a parking spot, but there is none. Or is this one? No. Last year I got lucky and I found a spot right here. It doesn't look like I'm getting lucky here today. Yeah. Ooh, hello. Hello. There's one. At the end of the day, y'all, if somebody does want to pay me to speak, that'll be tight, dude. Let me just check and see how much room I have here. Right there. Alright, let me turn that car off. We made it. We made it to Ventura. I did not hit any traffic. I made it a whole like 22 minutes early, which I guess better be early than late. And it's just been kind of like difficult, I'd say, too. Oh, there's parking all the way across? No, that's for the beach inn. Excuse me. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. I know that my wife's a little bit exacerbated with me, though. I think she's a little bit tired of how immature her man-boy husband is, and that she probably feels more like a mother to me than like a husband or a wife. And I don't blame her. I don't think I've made it super easy on her. 'Cause I'm not a big man's man. Like right now we have a leak at our house, which I noticed this morning. I thought it was due to the like little bit of rain that was going on, but no, my brother went and checked it out, and luckily I work for a plumbing business, so it's gonna get taken care of. But also, I mean, we're gonna have to have them work on it, and like I already know I can't afford it. And it feels terrible to have to like think about them saying you don't have to pay for it, which will just make me feel like even more of a spoiled little bitch. I'm apologize if I keep using the word bitch. I don't mean it in any way regarding females, but like just a little bitch, like just a like weak-willed person. That's what I'm talking about. Just a little bitch. Just don't be a little bitch about it. That type of little bitch. Yeah. And I'm down here and she's there, and she takes care of a lot, and all I feel like I did was I brought the I brought my family to the situation, which helped her out having a house, and having in-laws that can help and like be supportive financially, and they're cool people, and they can help take care of the kids, and they do. And I love my parents. They're great. I definitely super fortunate, and not no issues. I don't have no issues. My brother, unfortunately, dyslexic, but I think maybe that was one of those things I was working against him that made him grind and work twice as hard. I don't know. I am just 2-hour parking, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., no parking, 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Well, we are going to make it through that little spot. So 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., 2-hour parking day. So it's 5:41 right now, so we are chilling. And I think this guy's stoked because he found a spot too. Someone's going to back in and find a spot right here that's stoked. Yeah, I mean, I'm content. I'm just not like waking up with a overjoyed like zest for the world every day. But I don't hate it. I'm just living in this pretty good little situation. This guy's got a little baby. I like little babies. And like, why do I want to have another kid when I already have 3 kids that I can barely afford anyways? Because that would be something new to like focus on instead of like improving myself, I guess, which is the answer. And I know like I'm a little dehydrated today, and I went on like a 6-mile jog this morning. Sorry, 6.42. And jogging makes me feel good. And I think I'm gonna start skateboarding again because that used to make me feel good too. But if I want to do all these things, then that's more time of I take it away from being with my kids and like working and exercising and time managing and whatnot. And my kid's gonna be 9 here pretty soon, and then I'm freaking out that she's gonna leave and go to college in 18 years if she goes, or if she's going to end up being one of these like mid 40-year-old kids that never leaves their parents' side, and if I even want that or don't want that. And I'm worried about my kids like getting pregnant and doing bullshit, like drinking and doing drugs and all this fucking fentanyl that's in bullshit lately. Really not as worried about like them doing school. I'd rather them figure out like something they're passionate about and like do that. And if that means no school, I'm fine with that if they have like a direction. But just I am hit with all these like decisions you have to make every day that I did not know as an adult you'd have to do these all the time. And I've really been just like anxious about like every big like thing that I've done 9-10 times. But this year, every one has been like, I've been dreading it, and then I'm checking it off. And at this point, like today was another one that I was like dreading a little bit, but I know it's going to be fine. It's not going to be an issue, but like at this point, all we have to do is keep playing, hopefully win, and then we have this banquet to do, which I'm not super stoked about trying to figure out and whatnot. And then that chick's got a nice ass. Both of them. And I've been like super horny lately too. I don't know. And it's not for lack of long pause. Just did another long pause. I'm all over the place. I am. I think that's what will try and do is try to appear more together. Maybe I should get a haircut and shave and look like a law-abiding member of society instead of looking like a fucking hippie. Although I must like looking like a hippie, that's probably why I continue to look like this. And my hair's not really growing longer. It's just kind of stopped at this length, and then I pull out a ton of it, not on purpose, but it just kind of comes out every day. But if I had to give myself a grade, and I think we've talked about this before, I'm probably a C+, a B- at best. And that is not what you'd like to believe, or that's not like what you would like to tell somebody if they asked. But to me, it feels like the truth. And a C+ and a B- just means average, or a little above average, or a little just good. I don't think it's not excellent or exceptional. I guess if you want to be excellent and exceptional, you have to practice a lot more. And I'll be honest, I haven't. And I'm just needing some guidance, I guess. I just need to plan my day a little bit more accordingly, schedule it out or something, or have more interests, or I don't know how some people I think I did 1 year of playing 2 sports, and I did not do more than 1 year. And why? I don't know. I think I was skateboarding and playing soccer. I played soccer, and I played volleyball, and I was a student. And I guess that was enough, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that every day I just kind of look forward to being able to relax, watch TV or something on my phone. And yeah, and it's hard to what, come to that realization or accept that. It seems like that shouldn't be the right answer. Although relaxing is, I guess, that must mean I earn something, some sort of ability to relax each day. I'm concerned about this water leak, though. I can pay it in portions for the next year. I also want to feel like I can take care of my wife and my daughters, and that they can depend on me, and that we can have a clean house, and I can have a clean car, and our house can be clean so that my daughters can have friends over. And I probably don't clean it or do that stuff so that we can't do that, which doesn't seem very healthy. You should probably have friends in life. Which is not to say I'm in this complete bubble, but I've just invested so much time to both seasons of indoor. It's August to end of October, which is about, what's that, 1, 2, so 3, maybe 3.5, and then I've been going since pretty much the beginning of January 8th, and that's January, February, March, April, so another 3. So it ends up being about half of the year that I am, so engrossed with volleyball that it's really, and the only thing I can think that would make it okay is if my 3 daughters suddenly become like addicted to the sport and they want to be like around it all the time, and I would love that, but maybe that would be too much volleyball, and I haven't been facilitating that very well thus far or at all. Because I just have such tunnel vision about volleyball, where it's like I could be doing both things. I could have my kids around while I coach and we do this also. Yeah. Long pause. Another long one. I think another long pause. I'm going to try and really write down a few more of these thoughts. I guess it's good that I'm taking a video diary of this right now, so I could actually listen to it back, and maybe that'll spur some thoughts or some action into all this. But like last year and the year before, I was pretty fired up like after we lost at the end of CIF, and I was like, I mean, I should really just head back into the gym the next week and work with my kids, but then I'll feel guilty that my wife is, that like the season never ends. But I guess if you want to like win anything and you want to feel like that you're winning, you can't ever take a break. You can't ever stop. So, on that note, I'm going into this restaurant and we're going to talk about volleyball for more. Okay, at least that's what I think.